Do you feel a loss of self and identity after committing every fiber of your being to a dream that you wanted? This can be a dream to be a big athlete, to have a family, maybe building a business, but after sacrificing everything for it, it just didn't pan out. And now you find yourself feeling lost, confused, fragmented, and burnt out spiritually, physically, and mentally. I know this pain all too well. I've been in the exact same boat. When I was 17 years old, I had a huge desire and passion to train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I started training and I was doing it every single day. And I started to get captivated by the idea of becoming a black belt world champion. It was something that took my entire focus. I would study matches, study techniques, think about it nonstop. In fact, it went to the point where I made the decision to not finish high school and decide to train at a higher volume, doing 2 sessions per day, dieting, weight training, doing everything I can to give myself that razor edge against the competition. Sacrificing everything from parties to girls to friends. I've lost friends during that process because they've moved on to doing different things and they were partying together, having fun, hanging out, but I had to train, and when I was done training, I was just way too tired to do anything. And so I had to just go home and be with my own company, which I didn't mind all too much. This process went on for years and years. In fact, it was roughly around probably 6 to 7 years of non-stop high-level intensity training and competing. And I did well for myself. I did win tournaments. I won provincial tournaments. I won them multiple times. I've competed for Team Canada, taken 3rd place at a world championship in Sweden. And so I've had some accomplishments throughout the journey. But then at some point, I was itching in my mind. Something was bugging me, telling me that it just wasn't feeling right anymore. And then all of a sudden, one day, I don't think I have that desire for it anymore. And it was at that exact second that I felt this overwhelming sensation of loss, of an identity issue, identity crisis. I don't know who I was anymore. Where was I supposed to go? Who am I supposed to be? I have attached my identity to becoming a world champion, a jiu-jitsu expert, so much that when I kind of lost that desire, I was lost, completely lost. That period of time was the most grueling experience. It was non-stop, up and down. I'd have some days I'd feel fine, and then I'd have a couple weeks I'd feel absolutely depressed and miserable and felt there was no meaning to anything for me anymore. I didn't have any other interest. I didn't even know how to start having interest in other things. I just wanted that one dream. And it even got to the point where I couldn't even watch my matches, and I used to love watching the tournaments, and I used to love enjoying going there, and I just couldn't do it anymore. Every time I did, it just reminded me of the pain. Worst of all, I felt completely alone in the process. I had support systems, but I didn't know where to go to connect with someone that has felt the exact same circumstance. You know, you see online all these individuals who are successful, and they'll tell you how to be successful. But I very rarely came across this scenario where you've pursued something for so long that you've identified as it, and when it didn't pan out, because for most people it doesn't pan out, their dreams. It just, unfortunately, that's just reality. But there was a vacuum there. There was nowhere to go. And this is why during that time I had to create what I call now the Rule of 3 method. It was a process of reflection and rewiring my brain and the stories I tell myself in order to actually move myself in a direction that I felt I can finally pursue, that I wanted to do now, that I can find meaning in again. And I had to also build a plan on how to do that and how to structure it, strategies to actually get myself going and to not fall back into that terrible dark place. And this is why, because I couldn't find a community to be a part of during that dark period of my life, I started this. because I wanted to help people in that exact same situation and saying that you are not alone. There's a community now that actually has experienced the exact same things that you've been experiencing. So if you want to be a part of that community, just click that link down below and go ahead and sign up to that free newsletter where I'm going to be sending out information on my Rule of 3 method that helped me during that process and that helped the clients that I've worked with during that process. And hopefully we can actually navigate you in a direction where you can find yourself again, heal that old injury that you've been feeling for such a long time, to actually formulate a new plan with actual strategies to find meaning and purpose in your life once again in whatever direction that you want to go. You can also go ahead and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all the latest content.